Well, hopefully you're now thinking, well, Kevin created some. How did he do it? I'm glad you asked. Let's take a look. We're here, we can explore GPTs, and we have the option here to create. So we're going to actually walk through and create a GPT. Now, before you start trying to create a GPT, you need to have a fairly good idea in your mind, what do you want the GPT to do? If you don't know what you want it to do, you can't explain to it what you want it to do. So you have to have an idea. So the idea I have is one I've tried before, so we'll try it again. I want to create a GPT that will take data, suggest some graphics for that data, and then actually produce those. So there are two ways we can do this. We can configure or the creation wizard. We're going to go with the creation wizard. Give some instructions. What do I want to make? I want to make a data analyzer and grapher. It will be provided some data. It will analyze the data and suggest possible graphics. Then it will produce the graphics as prompted by the user. So that's what I wanted to do. We'll input that. The GPT is going to go and do some magic behind the scenes, figure out what it's going to do. Oh, great choice. We have to name it first. So how about data grapher? That, we could suggest another one. Data grapher is fine. Now it needs a profile picture. Let's generate a picture. And that'll work. So now I've got my grapher. Now we've got to refine it a little bit more. How do you want to react? Should it automatically suggest types of graph after analyzing or wait for the users? Suggest graphs after analyzing the data. And it's updating. Anything specific you want it to emphasize or avoid? No, at least not as a first attempt. How would you like to communicate? Formal language, more casual, something between. So we'll just say a friendly, conversational tone. So it does some work, and it's all set, or at least it says it's all set. There are a couple of things I want to jump over to configure and do. In configure, notice it doesn't have code interpreter automatically. We want that, because for the analysis, it's actually going to write behind the scenes some Python code to analyze the data. We want it to be able to do that. Also, we do want web browsing enabled because we may want to direct it to a website and say use the data found at a particular website. I'll go back to create now, and we want to test it. So now we've got to give it some data. Some data I've often used is some insurance data from the Missouri report. So let's look, say, market share report. Let's actually go across all lines for groups of companies, and we'll sort it by alphabetical order. So we'll just submit and get this data across all lines. And so we've got some companies. So there's some bad data in here, but 457 companies in this market. So I'm going to begin to highlight, scroll all the way to the bottom, and copy the data. I don't need that last column of totals. And I'm going to paste it in here and give it that data. And it's going to do some analysis. And it says it looks like you shared a comprehensive data set involving various companies along with their domicile, market share, written premium, and change in premium for the year 2022, which that is precisely what I gave it. I mean, that's what it says. Not quite sure I understand what domicile means in this context, but these are certainly correct and that is identified. And so here are some charts they may use. So a bar chart comparing the market share written premium of different companies. So let's do, give me a bar chart of the top 15 market share companies, because that's one of the things that's suggested. So let's do that. So first it's going to figure out the top 15, and it's doing that. And now it's going to create a bar chart. So notice United Health Group. So this includes health insurance as well. So United Healthcare is a big market share. State Farm Group, pretty big. Berkshire Hathaway. There's the bar chart. pretty slick, I think. Let's try another one. A scatter plot, relationship between market share and change in premium. So give me plot 2 for the top 15 companies in market share. And so again, thanks. And again, it kind of goes through their market share and their change in premium, analyzing. And here it is, the market share percentage and the change in premium. So United Healthcare Group has a big market share and they increased their premium quite a bit over the previous year. But that gives you an idea, and you can ask it in English what you want and hope it will do that. Now, I've just been previewing this to finish up the process I would need to create. I could share it if I was ready to. I'm not. I can make an invite only or share it with anyone at NLS or anyone, or put it in the GPT store. Actually, those are grayed out. I don't think I can do that. So our workspace has disabled public sharing, which is why we can't share publicly, probably why we can't access what others have shared publicly. I'm going to leave it as an invite only and update it. And there I've created a chatbot. Had there been something I didn't like while testing it, I could come back over to create and say, no, I need to adjust this way or this way. So it's a pretty slick feature to just get in and try some things. And in general, with ChatGPT, you've got to get in there and try some things. You learn by doing. So don't be afraid to get in and try and do.